The national news of Wales, brought to you first by HTV.
Good evening on this, the first day of the Rugby World Cup. Welcome to a special edition of HTV News with me, Jonathan Hill.
And me, Lucy Cohen. The main headlines tonight.
The biggest rugby show on earth kicks off at the Millennium Stadium.
Wales win. It's not convincing, but it's the result the nation had hoped for.
I'll be at the Millennium Stadium for Graham Henry's post-match reaction.
Well, the party started, and this could go on till November.
Good evening. It may be raining in Cardiff, but the sun is shining in Welsh hearts tonight. The eyes of the world are on Wales and Cardiff's Millennium Stadium. A television audience of 3 billion tuned in to see the spectacle of the opening ceremony, and a result that every Wales fan had hoped for.
For the organisers, it was the end of 4 years of planning. Around Wales, factories and schools were shut as the nation focused its attention on the Millennium Stadium. Inside, 72,000 people came together to play their part in Welsh rugby history.
We'll have live reaction to this momentous day, plus a roundup of the rest of the day's news. But first, Nick Partridge reports on a day to remember.
It's called the Millennium Stadium, and today we found out why. Here in Cardiff, the last great sporting event of the millennium finally got underway. With millions around the world watching, Wales provided a spectacle both on and off the pitch. A cast of 1,500 performers, including world stars, launched the biggest and best rugby show on earth.
So God can watch us play, and we'll be
Earlier, a queue had already built up and the gates opened at midday. But despite problems, the turnstiles coped as 72,000 lucky ticket holders made their way into the ground. Outside, the streets were almost deserted as the opening ceremony reached a climax.
I'm delighted to declare the 1999 Rugby World Cup tournament open.
Then the strains of the national anthem signalled the moment everyone had been waiting for, the opening match between Wales and Argentina. Unfortunately, the game didn't live up to expectations, but Wales did win, and this try from Mark Taylor provided a brief glimpse of what Wales are capable of. Outside, the ticketless sought solace in city centre pubs, and of course a Welsh win means there's lots to celebrate.
Could have been another 10 points. It would have been comparable.
The weather didn't dampen the spirits then?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I thought they almost lost at the end and they shouldn't have risked that.
They can only get better.
Absolutely.
They will only get better. And that's got to be a good thing.
And that's what everyone will now be hoping for. Nick Partridge, HTV News, at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff.
Well, I'm joined now by the man behind the Millennium Stadium project, WRU Chairman Glanmore Griffiths. A tremendous day for Wales. You must be a very, very proud man tonight.
Yes, a great day for Wales and a day of great celebration. I think every Welsh man and woman can be very proud of themselves today. We've opened up our fine Millennium Stadium and showed it off to the world, and we've celebrated with a fine Welsh victory as well. What a way to open up Rugby World Cup. A Welsh win. We opened the stadium up against South Africa on the 26th of June. We won then 5 consecutive wins in this wonderful.
72,000 managed to get in, but 3 billion couldn't. What was the atmosphere like? Describe it to them.
The atmosphere was absolutely electric when the Welsh team ran onto the pitch. Very much like the atmosphere in the Old Arms Park, except that we got 20,000 more people in this stadium, and the singing was absolutely wonderful.
How are we going to top this?
We can't top it, can we? As far as the stadium is concerned, but the performance of the Welsh team is something that everybody in Wales is pleased with, and let us hope now they can go on. The players, Rob Howley and the players, will certainly give it everything, and let's hope they can go on and certainly reach the final, and a great final out here between Wales and one of the other great unions in the world.
Samuel Griffiths, thank you very much. I'm also joined by Paul Thorburn from Rugby World Cup. Yesterday, some criticism of the way the Cup may have been organised by the WRU. Do you take all that back now, having seen the way today went?
Well, I'm not sure who made the criticism. It certainly wasn't me, but
Leo Williams.
Well, he had his opinion, but I think the way the ceremony went today got the tournament off to a great start, and I think everybody can be very proud of what's happened.
40 matches to come, another 6 weeks. Is this going to be the best Rugby World Cup we've seen, do you think?
We hope so. We hope so. And it'll, from a Welsh point of view, be even better if Wales get to the final.
Paul Thorburn, thank you very much. Well, making sure that everything runs smoothly in the capital over the next 6 weeks will be Superintendent Jerry Thomas from South Wales Police. You're smiling. Has it all gone to plan?
Well, yes, I mean, the stadium has passed its major test, really, 72,500 people, and passed it with flying colours. I mean, the studio was excellent inside, and also, I mean, the crowd movement around the stadium, very pleased with that. There's a few little things we can build on and improve upon, but, and it's a Welsh win today, so many people celebrating in the pubs at the moment.
How has Cardiff coped with the influx of 72,000 plus?
Well, very well, and I think it's a justification of our plan to close St Mary's Street. If you saw that street before the game, it was absolutely thronging with people, as it was for quite a while afterwards. And therefore we've got the safe and secure environment we need. Spectator safety is paramount importance to us and to the stadium, and therefore I think it's been a very good day in that respect.
Have there been any problems, any crowd problems?
No, none at all. I mean, I expect tonight that we'll probably get 1 or 2 incidents. I mean, you can't get 72,500 people celebrating without some fool doing something which is slightly out of order, but we should be there to correct them firmly and fairly as always.
Now behind us, the party is really going on a mile in that direction. The pubs are thronging. Are you concerned about tonight?
Not really. I mean, there's about an extra 25 officers in the city centre tonight. I mean, they'll cope with it. That's all we say to people. Enjoy yourself, but be sensible.
Well, finally, let's go back to Glanmore Griffiths. Quite a low-key first half. What do you think it was that Graham Henry said to the team at half-time? Because it certainly lifted them.
Graham is a great coach and a great motivator. I leave the rugby side to Graham. He's done a great job. We've had 9 consecutive wins now in Welsh rugby, something that we've never achieved since the golden era of the 70s, and I'm sure there's a few more wins to come yet in this tournament for Wales.
And you think you've silenced your critics tonight, do you?
There was only one way to silence the critics, and that was to build the stadium in time and show them what a splendid stadium it is, and that's what we have done.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's hope it goes as well as it went today. Well, at the end of the day, it's all about the game. It turned out to be a real nail-biter, not quite the pushover we'd hoped for, but still, a win is a win. With the details, here's Roger Davis.
Thanks very much for joining us down here in the bowels of the Millennium Stadium. I'm waiting to be joined by Graham Henry as well. He no doubt will be relieved to get this first match out of the way. John Smith has been watching today's action for us.
Just about the most unlikely opening moment, Neil Jenkins, of all people, missing the first penalty of World Cup '99. And soon Wales were being reminded just how tough and punchy these Argentinians can be. Colin Chavez could well be in disciplinary trouble after this fracas. A great Scott Quinnell break almost led to the first try, but Shane Howarth was brought down a metre short and, to add insult to injury, penalised. Argentina moved into a 6-0 lead against the run of play with 2 penalties from González Quesada, then 2 in reply from Neil Jenkins. Luckily he'd found his kicking boots again. But then the crucial first try. Good work by Howarth and Garyn Jenkins before it was recycled for Colin Chavez to make up for previous indiscipline by charging through to give Wales a 13-9 half-time lead. 10 minutes into the second half and Wales fashioned a brilliant try. Mark Taylor with the pass, David James and Gareth Thomas carrying it on, for Taylor to be on hand to finish it off. The singing started as the crowd sensed Wales had the game won. But mistakes began creeping in, and 3 penalties from Quesada clawed Argentina back to within 5 points. With Wales losing lineouts badly, they also overlooked a golden try-scoring opportunity when substitute Jason Jones-Hughes broke, but Chris Wyatt failed to pass to David James. And when the referee blew, it was relief rather than